Welcome to my channel. It started with a simple thought, just one outfit. She'll never know. My sister's closet had always fascinated me. The silky dresses, the soft skirts, the delicate tops I had never dared touch. Curiosity got the better of me one quiet afternoon while she was out, and I found myself sliding a beautiful blouse and skirt over my arms, pretending it was harmless fun. At first, it felt exhilarating, dangerous, secretive, thrilling. I twirled in front of the full-length mirror, feeling the soft fabric against my skin. I smiled, imagining her reaction if she ever found out. But the thrill quickly turned to something I hadn't anticipated. A strange tingling sensation spread through my body, starting at my fingertips and crawling up my arms. My heart raced as my posture shifted, my hips seemed to widen, and my reflection blurred for a moment. What's happening? I whispered, panic rising in my chest. My reflection morphed before my eyes. My face softened, cheeks rounded, eyes appearing larger and more luminous. My hair seemed longer, glossier, falling in perfect waves over my shoulders. Even my body felt different, the contours of my frame subtly shifting, my waist narrowing, my legs lengthening. I stumbled back, gripping the edge of the dresser for support. The blouse clung differently now, the skirt flowing around curves I hadn't had before. My pulse raced, mind spinning in disbelief. The reflection staring back at me wasn't entirely me. It was familiar, yet undeniably feminine. This can't be real, I murmured, trembling. Suddenly, a voice whispered behind me, not my sister's, not mine, but something cold and almost mocking. You shouldn't have taken what wasn't yours. I spun around, but the room was empty. My heart pounded, panic surging. The mirror reflected the change in full now. Soft lips, delicate hands, a body entirely transformed. I realized with horror that stealing her clothes hadn't just been a mischievous act, it had triggered a consequence far beyond what I could imagine. This is the price? I thought, my voice higher and unfamiliar. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. Every sound was sharper, every movement amplified. I tried to take a step back, but the reflection moved in perfect harmony with me, almost taunting me with its elegance, its femininity, its undeniable beauty. Panic mixed with fascination. I could feel the change in every nerve, every fiber of my body. My hands were softer, my fingers slender, my balance different, my movements instinctively more graceful. The thrill of stealing her clothes had become a living lesson. Every action has a consequence, and this one was written directly on my body. I have to fix this, I whispered, dread and curiosity colliding. I can't stay like this, can I? As I sank to the floor, the reality hit me. This wasn't temporary. This wasn't just a prank or a joke. I had stolen from my sister, and now, I had paid a price I wasn't sure I could ever undo. The reflection in the mirror stared back with calm inevitability, as if saying, welcome to your new life. The first problem wasn't the mirror. It was the door. I stood frozen in my sister's room, heart hammering, listening to the faint sound of keys jangling outside. She was home. Way earlier than expected. My pulse roared in my ears as panic clawed up my throat. No. Not like this. I rushed to change, fumbling with unfamiliar hands that didn't move the way they used to. My fingers felt smaller, more delicate, and the coordination I relied on was gone. The skirt refused to come off smoothly, catching at my hips like it belonged there. The blouse clung in a way that made my stomach twist. The front door opened. Hey, I'm back. My sister called out casually. My voice stuck in my chest. Even breathing felt dangerous. I darted into the bathroom, locking the door just as her footsteps echoed down the hallway. I leaned against the sink, staring at my reflection under harsh fluorescent light. She was still there. The girl in the mirror. My sister's clothes fit me perfectly, too perfectly. Like they had been tailored for this body. My hair brushed my shoulders when I moved. My face looked softer, younger, almost innocent. This is wrong. This is so wrong. A knock rattled the door. Why's the bathroom locked? She asked, suspicious now. Just a minute. I replied automatically. The sound of my voice made my stomach drop. It wasn't my voice anymore. It was lighter. Clearer. Wrong in a way that sent ice through my veins. There was a pause on the other side of the door. Are you okay? I swallowed hard. Why, yeah. Silence. Then, why do you sound weird? My heart slammed so hard I thought she'd hear it. I flushed the toilet for no reason, bought myself seconds, then opened the door slowly. She was standing there with her arms crossed. And then she saw me. Her eyes widened. Not in anger. Not in shock. But in confusion. What the hell are you wearing? She asked slowly. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Her gaze traveled over me, my hair, my face, the way her skirt fell on my legs, and something shifted in her expression. Not amusement. Not mockery. Recognition. Her face drained of color. That's my outfit, she whispered. The room felt like it tilted. I can explain, I said, panic flooding my chest. She took a step closer. Then another. No, she said quietly. Explain this. She reached out and gently touched my arm. I flinched. Her fingers froze. Why does your skin feel like that? I pulled away instinctively, backing up until I hit the wall. I didn't mean for this to happen, I blurted out. I just tried it on, I swear, I was just curious and then something happened and I couldn't stop it. She stared at me like she was trying to solve a puzzle that shouldn't exist. You're joking, she said flatly. I wish I was. She laughed once. Sharp. Nervous. This isn't funny. I know. She stepped back, eyes scanning me again, slower this time. Analytical. Careful. You look. She stopped herself. You look like someone else. The weight of that sentence crushed my chest. I spent the rest of the evening hiding in my room while she paced the house, muttering to herself, making phone calls she didn't finish. Every sound felt like a countdown. Every creak of the floor made me tense. I tried changing into my own clothes. They didn't fit. My jeans wouldn't go past my thighs. My shirts hung wrong, stretching in places they never had before. Even my shoes felt too big, my feet sliding around uselessly inside them. This isn't temporary, my mind whispered. This is the price. Dinner was torture. We sat across from each other in silence. She kept glancing up at me, then quickly looking away like she'd been burned. You didn't steal anything else, did you? She finally asked. My face burned. No. She exhaled slowly. Good. Because whatever this is, she gestured vaguely at me, it's tied to my clothes. I can feel it. That made my stomach drop. You can feel it? She nodded. Like something's off. Like when you lose something important and don't realize it until later. The guilt hit me harder than fear. The next few days were a nightmare. I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't answer the door. I couldn't even sit comfortably without being painfully aware that my body moved differently now. My center of balance had shifted. My gestures had softened without permission. And my sister? She watched me. Not cruelly. Not kindly either. Just intensely. Like she was waiting for something. On the third day, she finally spoke the words I had been dreading. You can't undo it. I looked up sharply. What? I tried everything, she said quietly. Changing clothes. Washing them. Locking my closet. Nothing worked. My chest tightened. So what does that mean? She met my eyes. It means you didn't just borrow my clothes, she said. You crossed a line. Silence filled the room. And now, she continued, voice steady but dangerous, you're going to live with the consequences. Morning arrived without mercy. Not because the sun was bright, or because the house was loud, but because my body woke me up in a way that felt unfamiliar, demanding attention I didn't know how to give. I lay there staring at the ceiling, breathing slow, cataloging the changes like a prisoner counting bars. My sister's rules echoed in my head. Don't touch my closet unless I say so. Don't leave the house alone. And don't tell anyone. Especially that last one. I swung my legs off the bed and stood, wobbling for half a second before steadying myself. Balance came with effort now. Even standing still felt like an act that required intention. My reflection waited for me in the mirror, patient, expectant, almost knowing. She looked composed. Not scared. Not broken. That frightened me more than panic ever could. My sister knocked once, then opened the door without waiting. She scanned me quickly, then tossed something onto the bed. "Get dressed," she said. I stared at the bundle of fabric. "In that?" "It's safer," she replied. "If someone sees you, at least it won't raise questions." Safer. The word tasted bitter. I changed with my back to the door, aware of her presence like static against my skin. Every movement felt rehearsed by something other than me. Buttons fastened easily. Fabric settled where it was supposed to. The mirror confirmed what I didn't want to accept. I looked natural. We didn't talk on the drive. She kept her eyes on the road, knuckles white on the steering wheel. I hugged my arms to my sides, trying to make myself smaller even though the seatbelt cut across my chest in a way that made shrinking impossible. "Why are we going out?" I finally asked. "Because hiding won't fix anything," she said. "And because you need to learn." "Learn what?" "How to survive as her," she answered, glancing at me briefly. "Whether you like it or not." The grocery store was busy. Too busy. People moved around us in blurs of sound and color. Carts rattled. Conversations overlapped. I kept my head down, heart pounding, convinced every glance was a threat. Then something worse happened. No one stared. No whispers. No double takes. Just casual indifference. A woman smiled at me as she passed. A man held the door open without hesitation. The cashier greeted me directly, voice polite, eyes neutral. "Did you find everything okay, miss?" "Miss." The word landed softly, and stayed. I opened my mouth to correct her. My sister's hand tightened on my arm. "Yes," she said smoothly. "Thank you." The ride home was quieter than before. "I didn't mean to," I started. She cut me off. "Don't." I swallowed. "Does it bother you?" She sighed. "That they see you like this?" "No. What bothers me is that you're adapting." I looked down at my hands. "I don't want to," I said. "I know," she replied. "That's what scares me." Days blurred together after that. She taught me things. Not kindly. Not cruelly either. With a precision that felt like training. How to walk without drawing attention. How to speak without hesitation. How to respond without giving myself away. At first, every lesson felt like an insult. Then it felt like necessity. Then, quietly, it felt like routine. The worst part wasn't the clothes or the voice or the way strangers interacted with me. It was how easy it became. One afternoon, I caught myself correcting my posture without thinking. Another day, I answered the phone automatically, voice smooth, confident, unhesitating. My sister watched it all. "You're changing faster than you should," she said one night. "I'm just doing what you taught me." "That's the problem." She hesitated, then added, "The clothes weren't the trigger. They were the key." My stomach dropped. Key to what? To something that was already there. Sleep became a battleground. Dreams blurred memories, rearranged them, softened edges I needed sharp. Faces from my past appeared differently. Voices altered, emotions refiled. I woke up disoriented, sometimes unsure which name belonged to me. One night, I found my sister standing in my doorway, watching. "You're smiling in your sleep," she said. I sat up. "That doesn't mean anything." "It means everything," she replied quietly. The secret almost slipped out the next day. A neighbor stopped me in the hallway, chatting casually. Asked how I'd been. Complimented my hair. I laughed. Too easily. "Thanks," I said. "I've been feeling more like myself lately." The words hit me a second too late. The neighbor smiled and walked away. I stood there frozen, the echo of my own voice ringing in my ears. That night, my sister confronted me. "You said myself," she accused. I couldn't meet her eyes. It just slipped. "No," she said. "It surfaced." Silence stretched between us, heavy and final. Tomorrow, she continued, we stop pretending this is temporary. My throat tightened. What does that mean? It means, she said, voice steady, you're going outside alone. Fear surged. I'm not ready. You already are, she replied. You just don't want to admit it. She turned to leave, then paused. And when people see you tomorrow, she added, they won't see my sibling anymore. The door closed softly behind her. I sat in the dark, hands trembling. Not from fear alone, but from something far worse. Anticipation. I barely slept. Not because of fear alone, but because my mind wouldn't stop rehearsing versions of the next day. Every possibility played out behind my eyes like a cruel audition. I saw myself freezing in public. I saw myself being exposed. I saw my sister's disappointment harden into something permanent. And buried beneath all of that was something quieter. A version of me that didn't panic at the thought of being seen. When morning came, my sister didn't knock. She simply left clothes folded neatly at the foot of my bed. Not hers this time. New. Chosen deliberately. I stared at them for a long time. They weren't dramatic. No costume energy. No forced exaggeration. Just normal. The kind of outfit someone would wear without thinking twice. That realization hit harder than anything else so far. She wanted me to blend. When I stepped into the kitchen, she was already dressed, coffee in hand. You don't have to come with me, I said quietly. I know, she replied. That's why I will. We walked side by side down the street. No instructions this time. No corrections. She let me exist. Every step felt like crossing an invisible line. The city didn't react the way I expected. No alarms. No dramatic reveal. Just life moving around me, indifferent and relentless. People passed. Conversations overlapped. Somewhere nearby, someone laughed. And I was part of it. We stopped at a cafe. My sister ordered first. Then it was my turn. The barista looked at me, waiting. What can I get you? She asked. This time, my sister didn't intervene. My mouth opened. My voice came out steady. I'll have a coffee. No sugar. The barista nodded and smiled. Sure thing. That was it. No hesitation. No correction. No fear. We sat by the window. My hands didn't shake when I lifted the cup. My reflection stared back at me in the glass. Calm, composed, real. You didn't even flinch, my sister said. I know, I answered. She studied me carefully. How did that feel? I searched for the right word. Then stopped searching. Honest. Her expression shifted. Not relief, not anger, but grief. That means the price has fully activated, she said. I frowned. Price. She reached into her bag and pulled out something small and familiar. My old watch. The one I'd worn every day before everything changed. Put it on, she said. I did. The moment it touched my wrist, pain exploded through me. Not physical, something deeper. Memories surged forward, sharp and overwhelming. My old name echoed in my head. My old habits. My old boundaries. Then, one by one, they shattered. I gasped, clutching the table. My sister leaned in. The mirror didn't just change you. It asked for balance. My voice trembled. Balance between what? Between who you were, she said softly, and who you've become. The pain eased, but something was gone. I tried to recall my old reflection clearly. It slipped away. Panic surged. I'm forgetting. She nodded. That's the price you paid when you stole what wasn't yours. The more you live as this version, the less room there is for the old one. Tears burned my eyes. Can I stop it? She hesitated, then told the truth. You already chose. I stood abruptly, knocking the chair back. No, I didn't agree to this. You agreed the moment you smiled in the mirror, she replied. The moment you stopped resisting. People were looking now. I felt it, but didn't shrink from it. I just wanted to try, I said. I didn't want to disappear. She stood too. You're not disappearing. You're transforming. The word echoed painfully. Outside, the sky had shifted. Clouds rolled in, heavy and dramatic. Wind tugged at my hair. I caught my reflection in a passing car window, and something inside me settled. I could fight. I could cling to fragments of someone I barely recognized anymore. Or I could face what the mirror had already decided. What happens if I embrace it? I asked. My sister swallowed. Then the price stops increasing. And if I don't? Then it keeps taking, she said, until there's nothing left to take. Silence stretched between us. I removed the watch and placed it gently in her hand. I don't want it back, I said. Her eyes widened. Are you sure? I nodded, voice steady. I don't want to live halfway anymore. The air shifted. Not dramatically, subtly. Like a door closing softly instead of slamming. The ache in my chest faded. For the first time since all this began, my body felt aligned. Not perfect. Not easy. But right. My sister hugged me then. Not tight. Not hesitant. Just real. I'm sorry, she whispered. So am I replied. But I'm done being afraid. We walked home together, but something had changed. She walked beside me, not ahead. Not behind. An equal. That night, I stood alone in front of the mirror one last time. It didn't shimmer. It didn't whisper. It simply reflected me. Not a thief. Not a punishment. A person who had crossed a line, and learned what it cost. I turned away, light off, heart steady. The price had been paid. And for the first time, I was ready to live with what remained.